this little episode about Kerberos. This is a very important topic if you want to implement a modern and tested secure system security that enables authentication in a seamless manner and that corresponds with industry standards, or at least what some proprietary data or proprietary software is based on. This is, for example, Active Directory from Microsoft, that is proprietary and uses this Kerberos key distribution protocol, or Kerberos protocol, sorry. But so, and this is open source, this is free. So if you are an enterprise or an organization that seeks to avoid any malicious actor to sniff around and look for open plain text or communication where the passwords are disclosed, or any other confidential enterprise information that must not be disclosed to anybody who could use this for malicious purpose, Kerberos offers a key distribution center that leverages cryptography in order to ensure that when you are communicating across services in your organizations, so there'll be many different kind of services you want to access, and you want to maintain a high availability, high confidentiality, Kerberos can offer you a very good solution in terms of a very usable solution, a usability-wise solution. If we look here at the Wikipedia page, just for a quick overview, we see first of all that Kerberos is a protocol. So I will just be trying to leverage some of my knowledge or the concepts, and then we'll go into a implementation-wise solution later on. So you are welcome to skip ahead if you are interested in just the implementation. So, but first of all, Kerberos, it's named after this Greek dog that guarded hell. And what is important is that we have Massachusetts Institute of Technology, so very, let's say, trustworthy organization that is behind Kerberos. And Kerberos is still being developed on, because it's an active application. And what is ideal about how Kerberos' security is that it is built on symmetric key in cryptography. And I have some videos you can dig into if you're interested in knowing more about what the concept of symmetric key cryptography is. And as we can see here, there's a little picture here showing that what essential cryptography is, or symmetric key cryptography is that it's confidential. It provides confidentiality when we are communicating to each other. So in basic, we have the Caesar cipher. So that's what is the most known cipher that uses a key, a monoalphabetic key, to encrypt the data, and then you should use the reverse of that key, so that the key is a number of 3, so you add 3 to the letters, the bits. So essentially, that was a long time ago. Now we have some very strong symmetric cryptography for our more modern use cases, and so it essentially uses this key, and then you can decrypt with the key, as we see here. So a key, the same key to encrypt and decrypt. And what is also important here is that we have a trusted third party. So in cryptography, a trusted third party, TCP, is an entity which facilitates interactions between two parties, who both trust the third party. The third party reviews all critical transactions, communications between the parties based on the ease of creating fraudulent digital content. So in essence, we have somebody who is a trusted third party that can be mitigating and ensuring the communication. And in our case, I will show you later here where we have a visual depiction. So let me just find that here. So in essence, we see that the client, which is our laptop, communicates with a realm or a Kerberos server here. And what happens as the first part is a client. So we look at the use case, wants to interact with the server. Well, the server needs to know if this client is authenticated, and when it's a part of a Kerberos realm, it is the server will then need to verify that the client has this a ticket that can validate their authenticity. So in order to communicate with the server, the client needs to communicate with the auth server prior, like for authentication. So the client will send a username and a password, and this username and a password, they will be they will be sent in plain text, and the Kerberos server will then check with their database of allowed users, and then if that returns something that matches what the user is requesting, the Kerberos server will encrypt the message back to the client with the password. So the password here can if there's the password will encrypt it, and then the client can use the password to decrypt that message and then be authenticated. And when the client is authenticated, it will get from the ticket granting system, which is also a part of the Kerberos server, a very most likely a time limited. So if we have an enterprise, well, we know we can, as a rule of thumb, we can say that they are working perhaps 8 hours a day. So within this 8 hours, or what other constraints that could be, well, they will be able to access, based on this ticket they get, the services that they are allowed to use. And in this ticket, there will also be information regarding to which services they can use, and the server will also will be able to tell what kind of granularity the client is allowed to access on this one. So that is very useful setup. So that was just the basics of Kerberos. So let's try to move on here. So I have also written something here on my orskoven.github.io that you're welcome to visit, and I'll just post that in the description. So when so I've written here about the Kerberos protocol, and in basic, it's authentication system, it's centralized management. We want centrality, because that can help us scale and perform very precise operations that are being rolled out similarly to all systems, and that's a preferable setup when we want to be as secure as possible, because that will minimize configuration times, and we will reduce errors. And then in essence, this provides a single sign-on solution, which we know very commonly from perhaps Google and other services, where you can sign in and then you can be signed in a single place. So let's try to go a little bit down here. And it uses UDP port 8080 as the default port. So as I told you before, the end users uses a Kerberos client, so that we will try to configure that here, and we will also try to configure the Kerberos server. So the Kerberos client is the end user that sends a username and password. The client and then creates authentication request in clear text to the authentication server, and then the authentication server is the one that we will be trying to mimic here. Also, we'll create and the database. So that we get in the Kerberos setup. So, and then we use this TGS session key and so on and so forth. So I have already tried to configure something on this one. So I have, prior to this setup, I have a 2 VM virtual machine. So I have this Ubuntu and I have a link clone. I thought that was easy to set up, and then I have SSH into that. So I'm already in here. So who am I? So L. So this is one of my server here. You can see the IP address here. It's ends with 3, and then it ends with the 3. So here I'm just logging in with the same username just for the ease of use here. So of course this is not what is recommended in enterprise solution, but here you can get the setup, and then you can configure further on what you need for your more specific setup. So I'll log in here and I will provide my password, and then we will be in here at the server here. So this is basically SSH server. So I'll just write clear here. Okay, and clear. Okay, so now we're ready here. So we can just get IPA here. We have the IP addresses here, and then IPA. So we see these. We just verify that these are different from each other, and then clear. So this one I will try to set up on. So I will first open the host files here. So now I'll just show you that in here we need to add this one, this IP address, and then you will add here as I've written here. So you will write this, and then you will see kdc. You have to write kdc.example.com, and then we will close this, and then we will so it's written here more specifically what will happen here. So then we will save the file and start installing. So I just saved it with nano, and then we will install here, and then we'll say yes. Then we will get some configuration here. So I just say okay here. Oh, let's see here. Okay, and then I just tap. And we'll use example.com, so it already knows that perhaps I actually did okay. And then we will use then we will write example.com, so it already knew that, and we will have to remember that in capital letter. So that was just before, and sorry if it's going a bit fast here. So I'll just go to the next page here, and then we will say kdc.example.com, and this is lowercase, and then we will enter the host name and server Kerberos. So it was kdc.example.com. So just give you some information here. So okay, and now what we will do is now we'll actually activate the new realm here. So we will provide this sudo kbr5 realm, and what it will ask us to do is to enter a master key, and that's important to secure that, because this is not retrieved elsewhere. So I will just here, and then we will be done here. So now the next step is to add a principal. So I'll just add one here, and principals are what services and users are called. I'll just add here command not found. So actually, sorry, I just need to enter the kadmin local, and then I will add the prince here, and then I will enter a password and re-enter, and then I will write exit, and everything here is so we see exit here, and then we will go in and edit the this file, and add the following. So we will say that nano we'll just say sudo perhaps. Oh. And we'll find this domain realm section. So I'll just go down. I think it's in the bottom here. Yes. So I will add the following lines. Yeah. And then we will close this and save it. Okay, so now we should actually be set up here on the Kerberos server. So now we need to configure the client. So on the client here, client, we will provide these, and then already used version. Okay, and then we will use these. I'll just write sudo in front of that to ensure that we have the correct setup example.com, and then we will look at and configure based on our setup automations tool. So we'll also try to add the following lines to the domain realm, and then okay, so we'll just try to do this sudo nano, and then use this, and then go down again here. Exit. And let's try. So now we can check. Now it's very important that we check that we can communicate with the Kerberos server. So we'll just write this, and then we get the password prompt, and then it's accepted. So now we are ready to request a ticket granting server, the ticket granting server. So I think this is I will end the tutorial here, and I will continue in the next part. So please stay tuned on my channel, and if you think my videos are good, I think you should try to leave a comment and perhaps tell me what you found interesting and what you would like to see next. And if there are any feedback, I would be pleased to see that. If you want to know anything about my tools I used, anything, please leave a comment, and then I will reply you. So thank you for watching, and like my videos if you like them, and unlike them if you don't like them. So thank you very much. See you next time.